I created this chart to be a useful songwriting tool. The left side of the chart should be familiar to you. It is the standard model of functional harmony. It describes the equivalence of certain chords in the major scale based on them sharing notes. You can use any of these chords as a substitute for one another. Like, for example, for the 1 chord, you could use a 3 chord or a 6 chord instead, and it would still have the same function. For the subdominants, you could use either the 2 or the 4. And then for the dominants, you can use the 5/7, or you can use the minor 7 flat 5. That's a half step below the root. The standard model functional harmony chart describes things as moving only in a forward direction. But here I want to emphasize that in real songs, you can really go to whatever chord you want. For example, it is common to keep going back and forth between the 1 and the 4 before finally going to a 5/7. You'd see this in punk rock a lot, and blues. You can also skip the subdominant entirely and just alternate between the 5 and the 1. Or you could resolve from a 4 to a 1, which is also known as a plagal cadence. Now, on the right side of the chart, you have the minor subdominants. If you were to play in the key of C major, these are the chords that you could borrow from C minor. This is also known as a parallel scale, modal mixture, or borrowing chords, but it's all talking about the same thing. What is often not mentioned is that all 4 of these chords serve the same exact function. They all have a very strong pull to the 1 chord due to chromaticism. Each chord of the minor subdominants, the 2 minor 7 flat 5, the minor 4, the flat 6, and the flat 7 contains a flat 6 note as relative to the major 1 chord. The flat 6 note resolves to the perfect 5th in the 1 chord by descending a half step. This flat 6 is the nostalgia interval, essentially. While the pull of the 5/7 is caused by the major 7 leading tone going to the root of the 1 chord, this pull, which is equally as strong in my opinion, is caused by that flat 6 descending to the perfect 5th. For example, in the key of C, the flat 6 would be an A flat note. So we can find the note A flat in all of our minor subdominant chords, but it'll probably be in a different spot than just the root. So in the 2 minor 7 flat 5 chord, the A flat is the flat 5th in that chord. In the 4 chord, which is the most common one, it is the flat 3rd. The flat 3rd is an A flat. The A flat is the root of the flat 6 chord, and the A flat is the flat 7 in the flat 7 chord, if you will. I also want to mention that I made this chart in such a way that the chords with the strongest pull are the furthest high up, and they fall like gravity. Or rather, there's a greater attraction to the 1 chord than just a shorter fall from, going from the subdominant. Like the 4 to 1 and the 2 to 1 is a much shorter fall. There's less potential energy and therefore less resolution. The higher you go up, the more it can't support the tension, and it eventually wants to fall down. So that's my lesson for today. I hope you keep up with the rest of the series. Don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe. And if you hit the notification bell, you can keep up with my further videos. I'm going to keep exploring this topic even deeper. I still have to finish my 50 chord series of it. Anyway, stay tuned.